Someday, when my life is over, I will meet my mother in the heart of Africa. On that day, if you see my mother, tell her that I'm find her in the light of Africa. But while I am young, I will be your soldier. I will be a shelter for the sons of Africa. My mother told me that in times like these, I just close your eyes and think of me. Cause life can break you, bring you to your knees. So I'll close my eyes and I will be free. Cause in my dreams, alright with the lion, alright with the lion, through all of my pain, through my heart, feel like a needle, feel like a needle. Open my shame, none of the words, none of the ways, they all wash away in African way. Singing through an ocean, bursting in slow motion to the keys of Africa. So while you are young, I will light the fire. I can be the fighter for the walls of Africa. My every time I feel, I just close your eyes and think of me. I can break you, bring you to your knees. So I'll close my eyes and I'll be free. Cause in my dreams, run with the lion, run with the lion, through all of my pain, through my heart, feel like a needle, feel like a needle. Over my shame, none of the words, none of the ways, almost away, in African I run with the lion, I run with the lion, through all my pain, into my heart, it feels like a needle, it feels like a needle, over my shame, and all of the way, they all wash away, in my freaking way. From the top of Kilimanjaro to the edge of the Nigeria Sea, oh, African rain is falling on me. In the songs and the voices of great, to the broken pieces of me, oh, African rain is saying.
All right, all right, all right. I am so glad that everyone is joining us today. This is a very special. I'm so excited about this particular guest today because let me tell you all, we are going to be having such a celebration next week. We are 1 week out from Plain Malcolm X Day. And when I have been telling people that we're having this incredible event, you know, people say, oh, well, you know, you have to have some drumming there. You have to have some drumming there. And it absolutely, you know, because we knew that too as well, because there's so much about the energy and about the celebration and about the culture of our people that invites, not only invites that, but it commands that we have that type of energy there. And when I would tell people, oh, we're gonna have drummers, we're having Sankonscious, it's like their eyes bulge out because they're just like, that makes it a real event. That makes it a real event. That makes it authentic. That makes it absolutely absolutely significant that we're going to have that type of connection, and we're going to be drumming to the rhythm with Sankonscious. And so today I am so pleased to have you know, I don't just call him like a member of this particular. Hey, Naiva, how are you? Peace, sis. Not just a member of Sankonscious, but also a he has been. I just, you know, see how he's a conduit. That's the best way I can describe it. He's a conduit. He lets, you know, the drums speak through him. And you all, excuse me, this is a different view today. Y'all know I'm going to do my due diligence. We are coming live and direct from Too Raw for TV, printing press and studios. And you guys, I am doing this purely off of the phones today, without the laptop. So this is a different view. This is a different angle. So if anything sounds a little funny, let me know. But as you all know, I've been having a real problem with my mic from my laptop for the past couple of shows. So we're trying this out today, and it's just amazing how things divinely align. But hello, Toya. Hey, sis. Welcome, welcome. So yes, without further ado, we're going to bring to the stage Brother Salim, and he is going to tell us about African drumming, how he got involved, how Sankonscious came to be, as well as what's next for such an incredible ensemble, a group that adds so much energy, so much depth, and so much culture to any event. And I am so proud to be Sankonscious official caterer, because you know, where Colored Only Cafe takes place, this is where they used to rehearse. And it just, the Sankonscious were literally my first customers. So without any further ado, let's welcome to the panel, Brother Salim.
How are you?
Peace, peace, brother. How are you?
Well, just fine.
Hi. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great. I am so. How did you like that song, by the way?
Oh, it was a wonderful song.
Thank you. Okay, so that song was a suggestion by my daughter. She loves this group. They're called Built by Titan, and I will put the name of the song in the description of the video so that everyone knows this is not something that, you know, I created or Sankonscious created. This is a song called African Rain by Built by Titan. And my daughter loves this group, and she loves that song. So I thought this was going to be a perfect way to bring you on today. So I'm glad you liked it. So welcome again to the Glow Show, and we are going to be finding out what's going on with Sankonscious, as well as you know what I love when I read through your bio about the ensemble, that you mentioned that there are healing qualities in drumming, and it can be therapeutic. And this is something that I have literally heard other members of Sankonscious actually, you know, say also, whether during practice, before, after, during, they often talk about how they came to start drumming, and a few of them do they speak about it being the healing principles and it being therapeutic for them, as well as how they communicate. So this is going to be a very fun show. Thank you again for joining us and coming on board. So without any further ado, go ahead and introduce yourself and let's chat it up and find out what's going on, Salim.
Okay. Well, I am Salim, aka Earth Griot, also known by some as the Barefoot Sage. I'm originally from Chicago, came to Atlanta in 2003. Originally, I came here to pursue a master's in library science from Clark Atlanta University. When I graduated, and even before I graduated, I pretty much knew I wanted to stay. So I never went back to Chicago. This has been my home since 2003. Back in Chicago, I did African dance. I actually graduated from Columbia College, a liberal arts school that had a pretty strong dance program. And I studied modern dance as well as African dance. My immersion in African dance is really what introduced me to the drum. I only danced when I was in Chicago, but found my way to the drum here in Atlanta when I got involved with a dance company. Were you having trouble hearing me?
Yeah, I didn't hear the last part after you said after you found your way to the drum after you found your way to the drum, but it was after the dance company. The dance company was the last part that I heard. I don't know if that's the same for everybody else in the room, but that's the last part that I heard. That was when it dropped off after you said the dance company.
Yes, that was really the last thing I had.
Oh, that was the last thing you said. Okay, yes. Perfect. Okay, so you were so still. I thought that you were saying something and it was frozen and I missed it. Okay, you know what I love, Celine? When you say found your way to the drum, that's something that I hear the other members of Sankonscious saying. Now, first of all, explain to the Glow Nation, what is Sankonscious? And how has it been? How do you organize the group? That sort of thing. Give people a little bit of insight about Sankonscious, because our Glow Nation members are not just people in Atlanta or locally. It's literally people throughout the entire nation and some throughout the world. So please let's do some due diligence and let people know who Sankonscious is, what you all are, and how you all find one another. Because I definitely want to give them some history of the group as well.
Well, Sankonscious is a community percussion ensemble based in Atlanta. Offhand, I can't give you the number of members, but we are all percussionists. We each play a specific drum. Most members play the African djembe, the West African drum that is commonly heard when dance companies perform. I play the backup instruments, the doon doon, the songba, and the kinkini, which provide the bass. And our repertoire mostly consists of traditional West African rhythms as well as original rhythms. Many of us composed our own drum beats. Now, you want me to expand a little more?
Now, no, I was going to ask, you know, what I've always been really impressed by are you have quite a number of female drummers as well. Is this something that you find, is this rare, or is this something that is quite usual? It's just that maybe you know, I might be new to it because you know, I've been a part of African dance troupes in Philadelphia, as well as more so productions. In Philadelphia, we had PASEP, and they had a Kwanzaa show every year. And so, you know, I was a part of the Kwanzaa show, the Kwanzaa Festival, for 2 years, and both of those years we had only male drummers. So when I see the ladies drumming with you all, that's really exciting for me. Is that something that is, or is it becoming more consistent, or what?
You keep freezing up. You frozen up. Okay, you frozen up, so I didn't hear the end of the question. Okay. Well, I basically got your buffering, but I will answer what I did here. Now, traditionally, the women left the drumming up to the men, but it became more and more common over time for women to be involved in drumming. I can remember the first time I saw women playing African drum. It was back in Chicago when the late Chuck Davis had an event, a traveling event called Dance Africa. And featured in that performance was a group of women playing the drums. Now, what's still a little less common, but is changing slowly, is women playing the djembe. When women did play the drum, it was often the doon. But there are more and more women playing drums. And then here in Atlanta, there's an all-female dance and drum group called Giwayen Mata. And all the members, they play djembe as well as doon. They're versatile because everyone's both a dancer and a drummer.
Now, did you grow up with parents that were drumming, Salim? How did you get into it? How did you find your way to the drum?
Well, neither one of my parents have ever been involved in drumming African drumming or African dancing. I actually was a storyteller in Chicago, and I bought my first djembe in Chicago, not planning to use it for drumming with a company. I wasn't planning to be an African drummer at all. I was planning to use the drum as a storytelling prop. So when I came to Atlanta working on my library degree, I had the mindset that I was going to be a children's librarian doing story time, and the drum was going to be a prop. I never planned on using the drum to play for African dance. I just happened to have a drum and happened to be in an African dance company when I was invited to be a part of a drum circle. Drum circles, a drum circle is almost like a jam session for percussionists. And just as many bands have formed out of jam sessions, a drum group was formed out of our drum circle because people came and they just heard us playing. We were just experimenting with syncopated rhythms, improvising just like musicians in a jazz session, in a jam session. They asked us to do their events, and eventually that emerged into a drum group.
Do you find that the women, because I just heard you mention that they don't play a particular drum. Do you find that the women, when you are performing, that this is it more so that that's an intimidating drum, or is it because that's more so typical a drum that is what you see the males leading? Do you find that more women seem to be interested when you're out doing events and that sort of thing?
Women are very interested, and I don't see women being very intimidated by any specific type of drum. I think there are some people that are intimidated by what they hear, period, because they think they're not able to do it. But I don't see gender having any bearing on it. I've seen that women who are interested and who want to play the drum will play, and those who don't, they might dance instead, or they might just listen. But I haven't seen any gender based intimidation.
So why do you think that is? Oh, and thank you so much, Wisdom. I'm here telling Black Love that she's doing such a great job with her comments, and thank you so much for saying I'm doing great with the questions. I'm telling you all to experience Sankonscious live is something that's it's indescribable. It's it takes over. Like literally my first time when I was serving at the cafe when the cafe launched. I knew that I was told beforehand by the owner of the core that that a drum circle rehearses there. But I was thinking it was more like, I wasn't thinking it was what I experienced. And I'm telling you, the dancer in me just had to get with it. And I was overtaken by the wonderful, just not only the rhythm, but the way that this group plays together. It's such a familiarity, and it's a very much, it's like a family. It's more than an ensemble, more than a band. It's like a drumming family. You guys are heartbeat. And I was just like, I'm right here with the beat of it. And so it's really something to witness. It's something to experience. And Black Love, when you say you're inspired, absolutely you will be. Celine, where can they find Sankonscious if they're not here locally to Atlanta or to the tri-state area. Well, they say tri-state in the Northeast, but into this region, this region, if they can't come and see you, where can they experience, or how can they experience some of Sankonscious's music and their I call them their blessings, because the music has definitely been a blessing to me. How can they experience this?
Well, you can go to our Facebook page, just type Sankonscious Drummers, and videos will be posted. You can also come look on our Instagram page, also typing Sankonscious Drummers. We will be posting YouTube videos down the line. We just haven't gotten there yet, but we're working towards that. And just keep looking at our Instagram and our Facebook page. Also, you can go to our website, which is sankonsciousdrum.com.
Putting that in for you right now as well. Drum.com. So please go there and experience some of these wonderful sounds. Like I said, this group, you would think that everybody was blood brothers from the same mom and dad, and that they grew up drumming together. So this particular group, how long have you all been drumming together, Salim? This particular group.
This group has been in existence since 2007. We started out, as I previously said, as a drum circle. And the drum circle started in 2006. We met at a restaurant on Friday nights right after work. It was just recreation for us. But when people liked what they heard and asked us to do events, we slowly morphed into a drum group. And originally, one of our first members gave us the name Ezekiwe Aisha, which was a combination of two names: a masculine name, Ezekiwe, which means full of vigor, and Aisha, a feminine name, which means she is life. We all liked that name, and we wanted to keep the name. However, when the person who gave us the name had moved on, that was when we agreed that out of respect for him, we couldn't use his name, and that's when we changed the name. I came up with Sankonscious myself around that time because I was constantly being exposed to this concept of Sankofa. Sankofa, the Akan word, the word from the Akan language of Twi, which means go back and fetch it, go back and get it, go back and reclaim. The word Sankofa, it means really to go back and either claim or just remember. Don't forget your past. Don't forget where you come from. And what I have to share with people is that term Sankofa, that spirit of Sankofa. In many ways, we here on American soil reflect the spirit of Sankofa and don't even realize it. Don't realize we're reflecting Sankofa.
Yeah. When
we listen to, for instance, an old school song and say, they don't make music like that anymore. That's reflecting Sankofa spirit. Even the term back in the day, that's Sankofa spirit, because we're talking about the way things once were. And remembering, because as you are going forward, you must never forget the past. That's why the Sankofa symbol shows a bird that is the body is going forward, but the head is looking back. What the head is doing represents remembering the past. What the body is doing represents going forward. That is what we as a drum group are trying to do. We're trying to move forward and move on to making things better in our world, but at the same time, not forgetting the old values that kept our ancestors going, the old values that our elders hold true and are trying to teach to us. That's what Sankofa is. And we all reflect the Sankofa spirit in either a subconscious or unconscious manner and don't even realize it. What Sankofa conscious means is that we are consciously reflecting that Sankofa spirit. And we want to reflect that through the music we play. We move forward as we play our original self-composed rhythms, but never forget where we come from, never forget the past. And that's why we also play the traditional West African rhythms.
So Blind Guy, his wife, their life, she says, I did think of Sankofa when I saw the group name. Yes, me too, immediately. I was like, that makes so much sense, Sankonscious. And you know what I love what you're mentioning, Salim? That you're mentioning that this ensemble, this group, this percussion group is leading people to elevating their collective awareness of that need by just by the music. Talk to me a little bit about the power of music and what it has meant to you in your own life. Just a recent memory. The other day when we were outside when I was serving, and the Earth, Wind, and Fire's classic was on. Keep Your Head to the Sky. I love just hearing you harmonize with those falsettos. And wanted to hear from your lips, what has music done for you? Because it almost feels like that song in itself, Keep Your Head to the Sky is such a piece that transitions you. And this is what I feel about, the same way I feel about Sankonscious is, the beats, the rhythms, they transition, they move, they shift you. Talk to me about some influential songs in your life. What has music meant for you? What has drumming meant for you in your personal experience?
I grew up listening to music and studying music. And in fact, Earth, Wind, and Fire was one of my favorite artists. I tell people my favorite artists of all time, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Stevie Wonder, and George Clinton. We had Earth, Wind, and Fire's That's the Way of the World, and I guess this will tell my age. We had That's the Way of the World and Spirit on 8-track. We also had Stevie Wonder's Inner Visions, Fulfilling This First Finale, and Songs in the Key of Life on 8-track. And I can remember listening to that music all the time. At the same time, I was one of those children whose parents forced to take piano lessons. I took piano lessons growing up, and I even studied music in college. So music has always been a part of my life anyway. I still have a keyboard that I fool around with, and it just so happens that Keep Your Head to the Sky is one of the songs that I often fool around with when I have time to fool around with the keyboard. Music is something that inspires me, and I guess that also lent itself to me playing the drum. Earth, Wind, and Fire specifically has become a very influential part of what I do, because after reading Philip Bailey's book, Shining Star, Braving the Elements of Earth, Wind, and Fire, I found out some of the more innovative things that Maurice was doing. And of course, throughout the book, Bailey spoke highly of Maurice. I actually, by reading it, got some ideas that I've shared with the group. One perfect example is something we did 2 rehearsals ago. We were working on a drum beat, and I said, let us make it a chain reaction. I'll start off with the doom doom. Then one person come in and fill in on the djembe, then another, until it's a full ensemble. I actually read about Earth, Wind, and Fire doing that in an early performance, and it actually transformed the audience from originally booing to getting up and dancing. So I said, let's incorporate that. And we will be doing that because I like the effect. And apparently so does our dancer, because she's taken the reins of being the one who brings them in. I like how that works because it also becomes an extension of her dance movements.
Yes, yes. And it does not hurt that she is just gorgeous and she's a light also. You cannot not be engaged when a moon starts moving. And you know what I love about a moon's movement? Y'all, this is no mapuka, this is no twerking. This is just honestly, again, just being a conduit for the rhythm, letting the rhythm take you over, and it's all just so inviting. Like I said, I dare anyone to ever take a listen or experience Sankonscious and not move, not shift in their seat, not have some type of rhythm going with them. Once the music starts, it absolutely shifts and changes the entire ambiance and the entire atmosphere. You feel like you're transported. And I know I just speak for myself when I say that. So someone did have a question, Celine. They asked, is this open for all ages, children and adults, or do you focus on adults, or you teach children but focus on adults?
Could you repeat the question? You buffered a little. Were you asking, do we teach children?
Yes. A Glow Nation member wanted to know, does Sankonscious work with adults or adults only?
Well, we don't offer classes right now.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Well, you started out asking, do we work with adults? We actually work with a collective. We would like to have children. In fact, we need youth to join us because somebody has to take over.
Do you just focus on adults for the ensemble, but teaching children, or are children allowed to be a part of the ensemble as well?
I would like to have some children. I like youth energy in the group. So if you have children that want to drum, bring them on.
Sorry about that. Brother Neophyte is in the room, and he's looking forward to hearing some samples. You all, I would have had some videos queued up because my son actually, when we're at the cafe, he and my daughter, they have taken to recording some of the material, some of the sounds on my phone, but I'm using my phone, so I couldn't cue in the video from here. It would have been a different story if I had my laptop hooked up, but the laptop sound is off. So I'm using my phone to actually do this live today, so I couldn't flow in the Sankonscious video, but please do please do go take a listen at the website. The website is sankonsciousdrum.com. Yes.
It looks like you're frozen again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you totally fine. Thank you. And you know what's happening too? More people are coming to the room. So sometimes that happens, you know, when more people are coming, things can freeze or get a little funny, but more people are flowing in. Kwame would love for you to share about the drum circles that happen in the West End, Salim. He did mention that.
Okay. We have a drum circle that meets every Saturday from 6 to 8 at Healthful Essence Restaurant, and ask Kwame to give me the address so I can give it to listeners, because offhand I do not know the address.
Okay. And I did. I asked him. So, Kwame, as soon as you drop that address, what I'll do is highlight it so others can see it. So that way, anyone that is local or is regional to the area can also take part. I always say, if you're an hour or two from Atlanta, you're in Atlanta, so you might as well just come in and make it a weekend and visit. And please, you all, if you can, I mean that with all due sincerity and honesty and just urgency. If you can make it to Atlanta next Wednesday, do so. Be in the place. This Claim Malcolm X Day is absolutely taking on a movement all of its own. We have, confirmation from the alumni chapter of the MARTA that they're putting the word out to their original conductors. They said Malcolm touched a lot of people here in Atlanta, and especially the impoverished areas. You know, before Atlanta became known as the Great Mecca, Malcolm was down here building, and so we're gonna have the ancestors will be in the room. The youth will be in the room. You all know the theme is from little to legacy. We have just many people that I'm just humbled, just absolutely humbled and overwhelmed, that have been pledging support and committing. We recently did we were asked and invited to do a little snippet of what people can expect for Claim Malcolm X Day. We were on Mr. Dougie's show on this past Saturday. We've been invited to come back this week coming up. The link will be also included in the upcoming video trailer for Claim Malcolm X Day. And you all know we are just 1 week out from Claim Malcolm X Day 2020. We won, and it is going to be phenomenal. That's Wednesday, May 19th on Malcolm X's birthday. By any means necessary. We're not asking permission. We're claiming it. We're claiming the day. No work, no school. In the building. It's going to be phenomenal. Kwame he shares that is there a limit to the number of drummers in a group? He would like for you to share that, Salim. Is there a limit?
There is no limit from where I'm standing. We could stand to have more talent, more people on one accord to fill in the sound. If you ever take a look at some drum groups on YouTube, drum groups in Senegal, Guinea, they are in massive number. Just like you have mass choirs singing gospel music here in America, you have mass African drum groups in Guinea and Senegal. So there's room for us to have some more drummers. Oh, and let me also say more dancers. Amun has made that clear that she would like to have some more dancers in the group, and so would I.
I tell you, if I wasn't cooking, that's something I would absolutely take you up on. I would love to get back to dancing. I would love for my daughter to take it on. She, the only time I've seen her be excited about a piece, that's even mine included, pieces that I choreographed, has been when she actually was a part of a African dance show at her school. And to this day, she remembers that routine and she loved that routine.
Ready for the next question?
Do you encourage male dancers as well?
I am a male dancer. So yes, I encourage it. For many years, I knew what it was like to be the only male dancer because
right. But do you find, are any male dancers?
You're freezing again.
Do you find that do you think that male dancers would it be kind of the same thing for the females with drumming, or the male dancers would there be an intimidation thing, or is there an expectation because of gender that is have you ever had a male dancer besides yourself? I mean, you know, someone that comes in along like with a moon.
Well, actually, when we first started, there was a young gentleman who used to, he would be playing the djembe, and suddenly when he got into the spirit, he'd get up and dance. And he actually inspired me to start doing it, getting up during the drum circle and getting on that floor and dancing. There can be some intimidation because a lot of people don't consider it masculine for men to dance. But if you look at male dancers in African countries, they're doing moves with a masculine feel to it, reflecting the man image, the hunter, the protector. It reflects in their movement. So dance is not a feminine thing. Dance in itself, it's how the dancer interprets, because that's what you're doing. You're interpreting the music with your body, and you're doing it in relation to who you are.
It's not. Right. Agreed. That's what I love so much about a moon's dancing. You know, it's not sexual. It's not sexual, but it's very primal. It's very primal. It's very. Can I dare say it's not sexual, but it's sexy? Does that make sense? It's not sexual, but it's sexy. It's a very. It's you're in tune. You're in rhythm. It's a dance. It's a dance, but it's not what I think Americanized of our culture, or what we think of when we think of African dancing. You know, when we think of African dancing, unfortunately, in a lot of our cultures here in America, you know, we do equate that to, you know, oh, when the drums come out and, you know, twerking and us just being, we don't think of Catherine Dunham and the isolation method, then, you know, your body being an instrument, not just not, it's an instrument and it's a vessel that brings forth life, and not just something as far as with, you know, rhythmic gyrations to entice. It brings forth life. And so I do love the style of dancing that a moon exemplifies and exudes, and the what's being played absolutely just it highlights that. So I agree. Okay, so Blind Guy has a question regarding, do you all offer lessons for children? So she simplified her original question and asked, do you all offer lessons for children?
Actually, we haven't as of yet. That may be coming in the near future, but we're still in the organizational process. I mean, we're just not even a solid year into having a website or being on social media. So we have to continue to build and continue to develop, and we are going to have to recruit some talent so that we can have a faculty to maybe provide instruction. As of right now, we're not there yet.
And let me tell you, and it's so amazing to think that you all aren't there yet, because honestly, Salim, and I know you and I have discussed this, before, just that's literally one of the first things that people always ask, with when they're coming into the cafe and they hear the drums going on, they say, "Oh, is this a drum class? Can how can I join? This is drum class." And I say, actually, you can go and witness it, but it's a rehearsal. It's a rehearsal. But that's the number one question that people always ask. They say, "Oh, is this a class?" So I know that is soon coming, absolutely. And anything that I can do to help prepare for it or help promote that, please, do not hesitate. Definitely let me know. So we're closing in on 6 o'clock. So I have my top 6 at 6. Are you ready, Salim? I have some questions, a little round robin style that I like to do with our guests at the top of the hour. Are you ready for some questions? They're all fun, I promise.
All right.
All right. So number 6, you said that you grew up a fan of Earth, Wind and Fire, George Clinton and Stevie Wonder. You can only drum with one of those groups. Who you choosing? Or one of those artists? Who you choosing?
You use the term intimidation so much. Each one of them would intimidate me. I think that if I had my choice, I'd probably...
You have to choose one.
If those were my choices, I think I would like to be with Earth, Wind, and Fire, doing those vertical leaps that they're doing on Fantasy.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? And I want to tell you, you have a beautiful voice as well, brother. So I know you're comparing yourself to greats, but you have a beautiful voice, Salim. I definitely I like it when I'm putting on something that you start singing along to. That's a beautiful voice. Okay. Now you're from one of my favorite cities that I've never visited. You're from Chicago. Sum up in 1 minute or less. Do a commercial for Chicago.
Okay, commercial for Chicago. Chicago, the city of big shoulders, big dreams. The city that works, but also the city that's very cold during the winter. We invite you to come experience what we have to offer, but don't forget your winter coat.
I think Philly could fit that as well. I love Philly. I love being, that being my city. I always will, refer to Philly as home, but I don't think I could ever go live there again just because year round. The cold, I can't do it. I'm even having a problem today. What's up with Atlanta in this winter, this wannabe of Northeast weather today? I'm freezing. I told Brother Palmetto, I said, I think it's gonna snow tonight, brother. He said, it's not gonna snow. I said, yeah, it's gonna snow. Yeah, Atlanta's giving some work today. Let's see. Oh, number 3. Woo! No, we're on number 4. I'm sorry, we're on number 4. I'm not counting down so great. Number 4, Chicago. Bulls, Bears, or Cubs? Who you got? Oh, or White Sox? Who you got?
Well, I've been a fan of the Bulls since the days of a name that you really have to be old school to know, Artis Gilmore. He was the hero of the team, the star of the team pre-Michael Jordan. And so I will definitely claim the Bulls all the way.
I'm a big MJ fan myself, so we're gonna continue to be the best of friends. I can tell you that. Okay, so coming out of Chicago, I'm telling you, it's the most favorite city I've never visited. It's because of my love for Chicago, my appreciation of the legacy of Chicago with the Red Summer, with Emmett Till, with the Great Migration. At one point in time, you all, Chicago was the North Atlanta. This is where Black people from the South moved. They moved to Chicago. I said, I don't know who tricked them about the winter there, but the summers is what did it. The summers were, they had a great industry that was very akin to Detroit. And there were a lot of suburbs. There were a lot of, Chicagoans had a different, they had a, what do they call it? They had a suburban way of life that they didn't have in the South. Richard Williams, Venus and Serena's father, actually spent some time in Chicago before moving to the West Coast. And he often spoke of a lot of his business acumen he learned in Chicago, So definitely, Chicago is near and dear to my heart. So I'm gonna keep it on all things Chicago. So we're coming up on number 3. Ooh, this is a real good one. Okay, your favorite Chicago the group song.
Chicago the group, as in the rock band. You know what? I'm really torn.
Yes, correct.
I'm really torn between Anybody Know What Time It Is and Beginnings. Now, you notice I named 2 songs that did not have Peter Cetera on lead vocals. These songs were led by Robert Lamb, and I found that he had a boldness to his voice that actually contrasted the beauty of the music. You hear the piano, and then he comes in. I was walking down the street one day, and it's so right. It seems to balance so well.
Now, I will be honest. Up until I was about 15, 16, I did not realize that Chicago was not Air Supply. Yeah. I thought they were the same group. I thought legitimately. I was like, no. I was like, that guy Peter, he also sings with another band. I remember having this argument with my dad. He was like, Courtney, that is not the same man. I'm like, yes. Totally is. Totally is the same person. But I just think I've always loved Peter's voice, and the song that he did, Next Time I Fall in Love, was one of my favorites. And of course, One Good Woman. What goes to prove Just what one good woman will do. Ah, give me one good woman. You know that song. Come on, come on. Peter brought you there. So definitely, it's
I
not
take nothing.
Chicago, but it is Peter. So it's still Chicago. It's still
I
Chicago
take
to me.
nothing away. I take nothing
But
away
thank you
from
for
music
that.
era.
Okay, so number two. Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is so good. We've had a lot of conversations about music. Yes. We've had a lot of conversations about music. We've had a lot of conversations about Chicago, the land, the lay of the land. So let me ask you this: with living in Chicago and living
Okay, you'll
I'm
have to go back to
back.
yes, the beginning of the next
Sorry.
question.
So with living in Chicago and in living in Georgia, what's your favorite if you have to choose between the two? Is it going to be deep
I'm sorry, you're buffering again.
Chicago deep dish pizza or Atlanta soul food?
Well, I have to say
You
I've
can only choose
become
one.
rather diet conscious. I'm
Last
sorry.
meal.
I'm sorry. Okay. You asked me if it was between Chicago deep dish pizza or soul food, Southern soul food.
Yes. The traditional Southern soul food, you know. So whatever your favorites are, that's the meal. Or a deep dish pizza.
Uh, well, I'm a little more health conscious in how I eat. I haven't had Chicago deep dish pizza in years because I'm really concerned about my health. I would have to go with the soul food it's uh, as long as it's not too fatty. I'll go with the greens as long as they're not cooked in pork because I don't eat pork as El Haj Malik El Shabazz, aka Malcolm X.
I don't do that at all.
Right. Uh,
Tell
you could
you
say the soul food of today because now it's almost as if vegetarian has become the new soul food. So we still have the greens, but no pork, no meat at all. We still have the cornbread, but it's vegan. We're doing that because we are taking control of our health these days. And so I would go with the soul food because it can be converted to accommodate the way I eat now. There's no way to accommodate that Chicago deep dish pizza. It's just something that I had to completely remove from my diet.
Okay. And I'm the same. Even I tell you, one time I did an event because I don't even stew greens that long. I like to get the nutrients and all of that earthy flavor. And someone even said, oh, you we wanted greens, not a salad. So I don't even do traditional greens anymore unless they request it. But I tell them that I have to do a prerequisite. I don't even stew greens that long. So you're gonna get a little crunch. It's not gonna be like the soupy, it's not the soupy style. You're gonna get a little bite with my greens. So last question, because this internet is not letting me be all the way great. But Celine, you've been so awesome, and I love, like I said, just getting into your musical depth, your the energy that you exude. It's just it's very calming, very calming. Even before the drums play, you just have a great energy that's very peaceful, very peaceful. And I appreciate you sharing, some of your insight and your fortitude with us this evening. This has been phenomenal, and we had very engaged group. Like I said, drummers are like the firefighters of our culture. You know how everybody loves firefighter. Everybody loves drummers. Drummers bring the beat. They bring the beat and the heat. Love it. So last question, because you did it to yourself. You said that you're a Bulls fan, and you're Chicagoan. So what I'm going to always do, anybody that says they're a Bulls fan, is I'm going to need all teams defeated for your NBA championships. All six championships. What were the teams?
I have all 6 championships. Which one was the team? I'm always going to be most loyal to the first one, because with that, it was the energy. I mean, what I think people have forgotten, in the midst of all Chicago teams having made a championship in the past couple decades, including the Cubs, what people forget is that at one point Chicago was known for its choke teams. Every team was considered a choke team. And when the Bears won the Super Bowl in 1986, everyone thought that the curse was over. Then suddenly the Bears choked every year after that. And it wasn't until the Bulls won that first championship, then won 2 more, that we really felt like a curse was broken. Then, of course, there were the 2 years we didn't have Michael Jordan, and so those were throwaway years. Then he came back. They won 3 more. But that first one, it was a very special one for Chicago. It was a very special one for me. And I think it was also great because I think that we celebrated in a more tasteful manner the first time than the second time. The rioting that went on after the second championship, to me, I thought that was ridiculous. It gave the city a bad name. But that first one was really special. Yes, the internet seems to be tripping every day, especially today. Oh, the question was, what were the 6 teams defeated for the Bulls championships? What were the 6 teams? I only remember that the first one was the Lakers. The second one, I am thinking was
for all of their championships.
What were the 6 teams defeated? I can't even remember who it was for the second one. The third one, I only know that it's whatever team Charles Barkley was playing for, because Charles Barkley really got he got sort of offended that they were boarding up the whole city as a precaution against another riot. I know that the very last of the 6 was the Utah Jazz, but I can't remember all the other teams that were in that 6.
Apologies. That was
Okay.
the that was I had to reboot. I am apologies. But Salim, the did you get all of the teams? Because I went out on when you mentioned the Phoenix Suns.
I'm still trying to remember who it was that second year. I know whatever team that Clyde Drexler played for, the Bulls played them. I think that was in their second route, but I can't recall who it was when they had on their fourth and fifth championship. I just remember. I specifically remember the Lakers being the first, and the Utah Jazz being the sixth. The other ones I can't even recall.
Did the Blazers, Clyde Drexler, ring a bell there?
Yes, that was the second championship. But I can't recall. So I guess the first one was the Lakers. The second was the Blazers. Third was the Phoenix Suns.
Third were the Suns.
Right. I still don't remember the fourth and fifth, but the sixth I remember all too well. It was Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, they had a couple of repeat defeats with Jazz as well. Yes.
Okay, then that means that the Jazz must have also been their fifth championship. Okay, looks like you're back. Can you hear me?
I am, but not for too much longer. I have a 6:30 appointment I have got to get to, and this was just incredibly a little frustrating with the internet situation, But Celine, thank you so much. You were such a trooper today. I can't just thank you enough. The group was very engaged, and I feel like there was a lot learned. And so I just really want to thank you for being a part of not only today, but being a part of Claim Malcolm X Day 2021, which is taking place a week from today. And again, I invite everyone to please go check out sankonsciousdrums.com to get a feel of the type of energy that they bring to the whole ambiance. You will not be disappointed.
All right, thank you.
And until next time, you all know what to do. Glow up.
Thank you.